Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome back to another Beers of War podcast. It's been a while and we're back. Sorry for the long delay, but we got a lot to talk about today. Pop cultural icons. I figured that'd be a really good topic to talk about because, we're starting to see a lot of them, go and everything. And a lot of them meant a lot of things to us. So stay tuned, sit down, crack open a beer, enjoy the show.
Beers of War Gaming Podcast.
Man, so what? 3 months? 3 months
It's been
now?
3 months, almost 4.
My God. I
Has it
will
been
say
that?
this. We do have another video that will be coming out. Now that I got access to a laptop, Sir Bigness and I, we had taken a trip to Dallas to consume, well, actually not consume, to go pick up a large amount of alcohol so that we can consume later. We got another video coming up. Did one several months ago. Got a little, a lot of good love on it and everything. So we wanted to do another one. I apologize in advance. I took the reins on it, but it's going to be coming out. We're working on it. So just wanted to bring that up to speed right now. How's everybody doing?
Doing pretty good. Been busy. First
Yeah,
week back from vacation last week in Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. I was born there, actually.
We were wondering that where you were born at.
I was
'Cause I know
born
you lived
in
in Texas.
outside of an Air Force base in Altus, Oklahoma. So it's like not that far away from Texas and everything, south area. So parents were both in the military. I think mom had just gotten out, but I was born outside of the Air Force base, and then I lived on the Air Force base afterwards. Been to a couple of other ones since then. Um, Met some good friends in Altus, still are good friends in Altus. Matter of fact, a fellow Beers of Warsian who passed away not too long ago. May he rest in peace. He went by Tenor as his gamer tag name, and his name's Brian, and that's where our friendship began. And many a couple other friendships I've made over there, and I'm still friends with to this day. So yeah, I love Oklahoma, man. It's a peaceful ride. It's pretty cool. It's been a while since I've been out there and everything.
Yeah, we were confined to northeast Oklahoma, right around just outside of Joplin,
Yeah, Jamal.
Miami, and Afton, and we stayed on we got a Virgo in a they called it Monkey Island, but it's more like a peninsula. So we stayed there for a week.
All
Actually
right.
enjoyed it down there. I wanted to do some fishing, but unfortunately the water was at least 10 feet up higher than normal, and I had no idea where the shore was. One of the places where I wanted to fish, I'm like, drove by it looking at it, and 15 feet from the shore, there's a park bench that's 3/4 underwater. And from the shoreline, you would have to cast under electrical lines. And I'm like, because I don't know this lake, I am not going to mess with it.
That's one of
So
those
unfortunately, I didn't
final
get to do any
destination
fishing.
situations, isn't it?
Very much so.
I, I wasn't going to cheat. I wasn't going to try to cheat death. So,
Yeah. Oh goodness. What are you up to,
but
Bigness?
And keeping a maintenance level of anxiety, just the usual. A lot going on. Kids, grandkids, wife, just everybody's healthy, everybody's doing well, just a lot of transitions, and that's part of this stage of life is it seems like you're staying the same and everything around you is changing. You feel like you're in a car going 100 miles an hour, and that's that kind of goes back to what we're talking about. What the topic on hand is the changes. I mean, obviously, the biggest change any of us undergo is the end of our lives, and we've witnessed now in the last week 3 huge pop culture icons pass away, and Malcolm Jamal Warner first, um, then Ozzy Osbourne, and then Hulk Hogan, Terry
Mm,
Bollea, Hulk Hogan.
yeah.
And that's kind of what we want to talk about today, because at this stage of life, a lot of the people that you look up to as heroes, and even those folks you look to more as the adultier adults, they start to leave this world and go on to the next. And sometimes it's a difficult transition. But I'm going to let the ninja, beer ninja, take the lead on this one.
So I want to start off with Malcolm Jamal Warner. I was a huge Cosby fan. Growing watching him growing up, loved it. You even saw celebrities before they were celebrities in that show. Adam Sandler being one of them, for example. And Theo Huxtable, man, he was the dude. Always, kind of he was kind of like what embodied some of the teenagers back in those days. Always curious, always getting in trouble, always doing things you weren't supposed to do. You know, but it was a good show to watch because there was some real life situations that they would project on television and everything that kids would go through during that time. Now I'm pretty sure it's a lot different what it is now versus what it was back then and everything. And from what I understand about Malcolm Jamal Warner, he was like a really cool dude. He was a family man, and matter of fact, I think his unfortunate demise was drowning, I believe, when he was on vacation and everything like that. But that one
Yeah, they
really
said
just
he was
hit,
trying.
huh?
They were saying he was trying to rescue one of his daughters.
Hmm.
Yes, yes,
It was.
exactly. And the guy's a hero, right?
Yeah.
So not just on television, not just an icon on television, but in real life. And he gone on to do other things too, I believe, in some other movies. I can't think of him for the life of me right now.
He
But
was in
anytime
Malcolm and Eddie TV show
I believe that's
with
He,
with
that's
Eddie
right.
Griffin.
With Eddie Griffin, yeah.
He had a
Um,
very short-lived TV show with Jason Alexander where it was almost a comedy based off the ESPN show Pardon the Interruption.
okay. That's cool, man. Yeah, it's just sad to see him pass away and everything. Anytime you think of the Huxtables, usually it's either Bill, or Theo, or Cliff or Theo, is usually what I was thinking of and everything. So, we my heart goes out to his family and everything. So, here at the Beers of War, our hearts go out to you guys. Absolutely. What about you? What about your experience with the biggest?
Me, I I mean, I'm very much contemporary. Malcolm Jamal Warner was 54 when he passed. I am 50, almost 52. So this one hit hit different in the sense that the Cosby Show was essentially what you would like your family to be: successful mom, successful dad. Mom's an attorney, dad's a doctor. The kids, I mean, one kid in college. Uh, In fact, the entire show, Different World, was based off of. It started out as Denise Huxtable's journey into an HBCU, which would have put a spotlight on HBCU culture, which most of America never got to see. And so on Thursday nights, you had coming into most of America's homes a black family that was normal. There was, when I was growing up, you had Good Times and you had Different Strokes and you had Webster as black led television shows, and it was really difficult to see yourself in my terms. And I'm speaking from my personal experience. It's difficult to see myself in those shows because I wasn't emoting all the time. I never said what you talking about, that kind of stuff. Now, something Different Strokes was famous for, or but in the Cosby Show, I just saw a normal family full of normal kids doing normal things, getting in trouble, trying to wear designer clothes, a Gordon Gartrell thing. That I mean, for that show to be 40 some odd years old almost, and people still remember the Gordon Gartrell shirt. I mean, that says something. And for all the negative that came from the revelations about Bill Cosby personally, he did give us that. And he was instrumental in introducing, in kind of interweaving into the fabric of a great deal of America, this glimpse into what a normal black family looks like. And granted, not every black family has a mother that's a lawyer and a father that's a doctor. But yeah, every black family had kids that was getting in trouble, kids that were doing this, and the music, like the music that was behind the shows, like James Brown, the whole stage performance of James Brown, I Got the Feeling. Baby, 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 baby. Yeah. Um, the Nighttime is the Right Time, the Ray Charles thing, when they did the whole performance there, they had music from John Coltrane on the show. It was very much an open window into the best parts of Black culture that a lot of America never recognized. And so I'm eternally grateful to all of the cast members, Bill included. He had his problems. Um, I can't excuse them, but what they gave us is the ability to see ourselves in television and not be embarrassed by any part of
I like that. Very good point.
it. Yeah.
Unfortunately for me, I watched a little bit of the Cosby Show, but I barely remember it because I'm still 4 years younger than Ninja. So I mean, I was a lot younger when that show came out. So I remember watching some episodes, but I don't recall a whole bunch of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember more of Fresh Prince than I did of the Cosby Show, but then Fresh Prince was the hot show in the early '90s.
Yeah. Well, if Cosby Show came out, I think I was 9, 10, 11, maybe 9, 10, 11. So I'm thinking it's 84, 85 when that show came out. And this is back when you had mostly the big networks. You had 3 networks on TV. Most people did. ABC, NBC, and CBS. And the most important thing would be the number one program on television that week. Every Thursday for, I want to say 5, 6, maybe even 7 years, the Cosby Show was the number one show on television. And it wasn't just people that look like me watching that show. There were great morals exposed in that show. You grew up with the characters in that show. Um, they were always respectful. You never saw them fight, raise their voices. I mean, in some ways, it was kind of unrealistic because, I mean, couples do that. And I remember at one point, the thing that knocked the Cosby Show off the number one spot was ironically The Simpsons. Fox moved The Simpsons to Thursday night in the same time slot. And that's what knocked off the Cosby Show. Cosby Show still made it another few years. I think it made it for a brief while. It went from NBC to CBS for a couple of years, and then it was finally off the air. It launched a great many careers. It was a lot of people's first exposure to nationwide audience. I remember still on a Thanksgiving football game, Ahmad Rashad, the football announcer, he was a football announcer for NBC at the time. He proposed to Claire Huxtable, who was Felicia Ayers at the time, or Felicia Ayers Allen at the time. He proposed to her on live television, which I thought was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And, so, I mean, the Cosby Show was as mainstream America as it gets. You put The Simpsons up there, Brady Bunch, the Flintstones, even I Love Lucy, going back through the pantheon of television and of families in television, which, by the way, is something you really don't see anymore. Um, the last number one television show I can remember that wasn't a news program or some CB or NCIS Dubuque, Iowa. The last number one TV show I can remember just consistently number one was Big Bang Theory. That doesn't exist anymore, and it's I don't know if we're necessarily the better for that. Gentlemen, I'm going to raise a glass, and I ask you to do the same for the in the memory of Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Malcolm.
Malcolm.
Thank you.